This podcast is brought to you by JList.com, and JList has their May snack boxes available over at JList.com. You can get a taste of Japanese culture with JList snack boxes. Traditional treats, trendy snacks, convenience store exclusives can all be within your reach. See what makes Japanese snacks so special while experiencing exotic chocolates and fun traditional dagashi snacks. Honestly, when I get a snack box from JList, it's almost like Christmas when you get to open up the package and see all the little crazy wild snacks that are in there that you've never seen before, and you get to try them all for the first time. So go to JList.com and you can get your May snack box now and enjoy Japanese snacks while you watch your Japanese anime. And now let's start the podcast.
You're listening to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Take your anime addiction to the next level at AAAPodcast.com/join. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Welcome to podcast episode 469 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. I had to.
I know. I thought it.
Welcome. I am your host, Mitsugi, and I am joined by two wonderful people. We're going to start with Mandy this time. Her name's Mandy, and she's hanging out in Cincinnati, and she's gonna bring the thunder today. How are you, Mandy?
I am.
I don't know.
I'm doing good. I don't know where I'm gonna get this thunder though.
It
It was
I don't know,
thundering
man.
actually yesterday. It was raining. here.
Did you save some?
No.
Damn it. I told you we were going to need the thunder.
It's 64 and sunny today, so no thunder.
And of course, we also have Enzo from Brooklyn, where they're saying "yurt" all the time.
Stop it.
On the street, it's just that's all they say.
Stop it. Yep, it's me. It's Enzo. I'm happy to be here. Today's a good fucking day. I got my friends visiting me. New York's really shiny and warm. I'm wearing a sweater and sweatpants. It's good stuff. Go.
And of course, I'm your host Mitsugi, and today, you know what? Let's go with Mandy. Mandy, what's the vision of this podcast?
To make your anime addiction worse.
Way worse.
And if you want to
Way
make
worse.
and if you want to get
worse.
oh man,
Sorry, friend.
the worser. If you want to get
Worser.
That's
Oh.
the one.
all of our
Worcester.
extra content, you can do it over at
Worcester
AAAPodcast.
Patronus.
God damn it. If you want to get
What
all
did
of
you
our...
say? I'm
Oh
sorry.
my god.
So we're Sesto Patronus.
We just talked about Game of Thrones over on our Hobby
Way
Addicts
too long. We talked
Yeah, for
about
way
Game
too
of
long.
Thrones for way too long.
at AAAPodcast.com/join. You can get our Hobby Addicts, where you can hear us talking about Game of Thrones. We were doing all of our fall. I posed some battle strategy fan theories to Mandy and Enzo here, and they sort of gave a score 1 to 5 how likely they thought they were of actually occurring. I also sort of ran down some talk about Sekiro, the From Software game, which is pretty cool. And
I talked about a K-drama I watched. It was
we got
good.
some K-drama action going on. And Mandy watched an anime film about penguins.
I did. Penguin Highway.
Penguin Highway, that's right. So
I saw it in theaters.
that was on our last episode of Hobby Addicts over at AAAPodcast.com/join. So head over there. Today on the podcast, we're packed as always. You know, it's always a jam-packed show. We had some listeners, and by that I mean like 50 people, all submitted their top 5 favorite anime of all time. And for our main section of the show today, we're going to be suggesting at least one more anime for each of those people based on their top 5 list.
Yeah,
So-
well, no promises on all 50, but
Yeah. We're not going to get to all of them.
yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for everyone that submitted though. It was really humbling to see so many submissions. It was overwhelming, but in a good way.
So, and if you listening at home that did not submit, you'll be able to say, oh, this person likes this anime, and so do I. So maybe that recommendation is good for me too.
That's the goal. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
hope
So everybody listening will find one anime that they can go watch that we will recommend to you, and that's our goal.
Mitz, let's switch to the video thing.
Oh, you're right.
Video.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Everybody wants to see how beautiful I look today.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Everyone wants to see that glimmer of your head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That anime glimmer.
But you missed all the crazy antics I was doing while the theme song played. Sorry,
Oof.
you missed it. We're also going to be doing a review on That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which is a fan favorite, one of the more popular shows of the last year, I would say. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I should say also, if you guys want to head over to our Discord, we have a ton of stuff going on in the Discord. The community over there is pretty big now. It's like well over 1,000 people.
For sure. Shouts out to the running club on there, man. It's sometimes I read through the chat in that Discord chat channel, and it's really inspiring to see like there's people are really on there just like, yo, today I ran like this far in this time. It was really cool, and then like supporting each other. Like, what the fuck? That's awesome.
Run with the Discord.
Run with the Discord is the group. Yeah, it's amazing to see that.
The animation. And of course, yes. we have the manga club on there as well. What are you guys doing for manga club right now?
We just did Junji Ito's Tomie, but
God.
Next we are doing My Brother's Husband, and the discussion will be May 1st.
My Brother's Husband. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And Tomie, everybody had nightmares.
Yep, and that's open up to anybody if you want to join our Discord, and even if you don't want to talk, you can come in and listen, and just mute yourself and just listen to our discussion.
Sure, you can be a lurker if you don't want to.
You can be a lurker. You can participate. It is entirely up to you. It's really chill and laid back.
All right, well, we got a lot of stuff to get to, so let's head right into the show.
Let's do it, fam.
おー、大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
Oh boy, well, it's a sad time in the anime community.
Very sad.
It'd be sad. It'd be sad sometimes.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, Monkey Punch, the creator of Lupin the Third, passed away, which is it's a pretty big loss. Monkey Punch is
iconic, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he was old. What was he, like 83, 81, something like that? But
81.
But it's just, I don't know, it's just really difficult to lose somebody like that. Because Lupin the Third has not only been around, it's been around for like 60 years, and it's influenced so many things, including my own life. Growing up, Lupin the Third was always sort of there, all through high school and all through college. Lupin the Third was always there, and I know he's not going anywhere. Like, he's not going to go away. He's not disappearing just because Monkey Punch died, but Monkey Punch gave that to all of us.
Yeah,
and
legacy,
so it's tough, It's like we lost Isao Takahata, and that really hurt. And Monkey Punch is up there, So it's So everybody should watch some Lupin the Third.
Yeah.
He was 81. He passed away from pneumonia, which is so rough. Like, pneumonia.
That's not a peaceful way to go.
Yeah, and it just, he's 81, so I don't know how active he was in creating at this point. But he's going to be missed. So, also, one of his colleagues, Kazuo Koike, who was the author behind Lone Wolf and Cub, who I feel like you talked about that, Mandy. Lone Wolf and Cub.
We did a Manga Minute on it.
Yeah, he also...
Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Manga Minute. We did a book club on it. Manga club. And it was a lot of fun.
He also passed away, and it was kind of strange because Kazuo Koike, and you brought this up, Mandy, and I wasn't actually aware of this. They were like close friends, and they collaborated a lot on work, and so and they died like just a couple of days apart.
Yeah,
and I feel like didn't Kazuo Koike say something about Monkey Punch like right in the days before he passed away?
Yeah, I think it was the day that Monkey Punch passed away. Kazuo said, I'm really going to miss him. And then it was announced on April 19th that he also passed away. He passed away at 82 from pneumonia on April 17th.
They both passed away from pneumonia?
Yeah. And they're roughly the same age,
sad.
too.
To me it felt like one of those like broken heart stories where it's like, oh, the wife passes away and then the husband's so distraught that he passes away like 6 months later. But it's very kind of eerie though, because they were almost the same age. they passed away just a couple of days apart from the same cause, and they were close friends and rivals in the same industry. So,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's not nearly as many people know Kazuo Koike, but still
Lone Wolf and
influential.
Cub has been very influential throughout many works. From the characters of Lone Wolf and Cub show up in anime. They've shown up in Western cartoons. They've shown up in video games. I think there's a reference in Sekiro. He's been a very big influence throughout a lot of animated works.
I remember last time we were in Japan. It was on our Japan trip, and we were in Kobe, and we were seeing Gigantor, the giant the giant Gigantor statue, and there was like a high school band performing like out in public on a stage. And what were they performing? None other than the Lupin the Third theme song, which is one of the most iconic theme songs that's ever been created in amongst anime.
Wow, man, I forgot we got to witness that. Man, we did so much on that trip. That's so crazy.
And it's like, I've had school functions at my elementary schools done to like the Lupin the Third music, and just everybody knows Lupin the Third. You know, it's like Hello Kitty. You know, like everybody knows it in Japan.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm with you, man. And so like this is like really sad news, but to me, the pleasure that we have as the people still walking the earth is that we can make sure these people are, you know, immortal through respecting their legacy, right? And these people left a legacy that we can always look to and keep alive. So really their essence is never going to go away. So let's be grateful that they gave us what they gave us, and let's hope that their life was a good one, and keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Both Lupin the Third touched a lot of people all over the world, and Lone Wolf and Cub is a great manga. When we did it for our manga club, we had so much fun, and we were posting so many gifs from the movies, and I mean, there's live stage plays. It's a fun manga that I highly recommend. But yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like a lot of people haven't seen a lot of Lupin lately. We've talked about that before, and so like everybody should. I would challenge you to take a couple hours and just watch a Lupin movie, or watch some of the anime, or even just read some of the manga. You know, whatever it is, just as a tribute to anime's history, to the history of manga. You know,
to the foundation of this passion we share. You know.
Yeah, because Lupin he's in there. He's like one of those like foundational blocks. So, Yep. All right. Well.
Rest in peace, fam.
I kind of hope we're not podcasting when Miyazaki passes away, because I'm just gonna cry for like an hour.
That's gonna be 2 hours of us being really, really, really sad.
Yeah, and although I feel like he's never gonna pass away. Like he's still like probably working 14 hours a day with cigarettes hanging out of his mouth.
If anyone's immortal, it'd be him.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope.
All right. Well, on that note, we can go from a sad story to a happy story with Enzo Senpai's Notice Me Corner.
Let's do it.
皆さん、おめでとうございます。Join us in Enzo Senpai's Notice Me Corner.
Come on, Senpai.
Yo, this is Enzo Senpai's Notice Me Corner, where you guys can write in to me so that I can read out your accomplishments or any progress you're making on something cool you're working toward. This week's submission comes from Bruce Senpai, which I think is a really cool name. And Bruce Senpai says, "Hi, I've been listening to the AAA podcast for about a year now, and listening to you guys gave me the inspiration to start my own podcast. I'll put the name and where to find it at the end if you want to mention it, but you can make that decision. We'll mention it. Dude.
Another podcast child. Oh my god.
Another podcast child. Nice. I'm fairly introverted, so it was pretty difficult to get started, but since doing it, and it's only been a month or so, I've been more comfortable with speaking with other people. The podcast is all about beer. As of right now, it's more aimed at helping people learn about craft beer and helping them feel more comfortable going to breweries and that sort of stuff. Beer and anime are passions of mine, and podcasting has now been added to that list. So thank you for doing what you do. and thank you for helping me find the courage to pursue podcasting. I'm working on learning how to get better quality out of my show, and hopefully we'll be able to meet y'all at a convention or something at some point. Thank you. So that's all I have to say. The podcast name is Senpai's Craft Beer Cast. You can find it on iTunes or on Podbean. This is probably the cool. This is so cool, man. I've never thought I'd be in a place where people are making podcasts through, finding inspiration from something that I'm a part of. So it's really surreal. It's surreal for me. But congratulations. I had a lot of anxiety when Mitsuki asked me to become a host. I didn't think I could do it. I really did.
You're
I
so
was like,
outgoing.
I remember talking to Mandy and being like, Mandy, because this is me admitting it to you. Like, you told me not to say anything, but I was like, yo, Mandy, like, I can't, like, can I do this?
You can do
I was
it.
like, Mandy, can I do this? Should I do this? And I talked to my friends. I was like, should I do this? Like, I don't know, man.
You
Like,
just
who's
out it yourself.
who's gonna? Yeah, I was like, who's gonna give a shit about what I have to say? But man, listen, it only takes the first step, and once the first step's done, every step feels so much lighter. So congratulations on going. I will check it out. I love beer a lot. I go to breweries here in New York all the time. So dope, Brew Senpai. And if you ever meet us at a convention, let us know what you like to drink. Maybe we'll catch one with you.
You won't be an introvert for
thanks
long.
for writing in. You will not be an introvert for long if you hang with us. Thanks for writing in, man. I appreciate it.
All right. We got some good little news blurbs here for the good, the bad, and the million, courtesy of Mandy. So let's keep it rolling.
Heck yeah.
Howdy, partner. I seen you riding in on that dusty trail. Welcome to the good, the bad, and the moe.
I'm super excited about this first one.
I did it just for you.
I know. Thank you so much.
And
So-
also for me, because I'm excited.
Yeah. So the first first new 12 Kingdoms novels in 6 years are slated for a 4-volume release in October. The Shin Chosha's official Twitter account for Fuyumi Ono, who's the author of the novels, revealed on Thursday that the newest work of hers in the series is going to release as 4 volumes. That's crazy, by the way. 4 of them?
Yeah.
The first 2 are going to ship on the 12th of October, and then the second 2 will ship on November 9th. It added
This
that...
is the part that blows my mind.
It also... I heard about this before, yeah. No kidding. The Post also added that the draft for the epic story was 2,500 Japanese manuscript pages long, and the 4 novels are going to center on the Kingdom of Tai. That's long.
Insane.
That's Game of Thrones.
long.
That's Game of
And
Thrones
if
shit
you-
right there.
I have all the ones that released in English so far, and even those are massive.
Yep. Yeah, the 4th one is particularly big. It's like 600 or 700
Yeah.
pages. The 12 Kingdoms depicts a fantasy world inspired by classical Chinese literature, where a girl named Yoko Nakajima finds herself after being transported from Japan. She becomes embroiled in the politics of the Kingdom of K, as well as other kingdoms. And I'll tell you right now that my favorite arc of the 12 Kingdoms that's released is the arc that's about Taiki, the Kirin of K, or the Kirin of Tai. And since these 4 novels are about Tai, that's going to be badass. I got to finish Volume 4. I haven't finished it yet. All right, for the bad, this is so crazy. UFO Table owes 400 million yen in taxes, but that's not the bad thing. So, a magazine in Japan reported last Friday that the animation studio UFO Table has been misappropriating funds raised from charity auctions from the 2011 Tohoku earthquake.
It says allegedly, though, so I don't know.
Allegedly, but
Yeah.
that is so damning. That is that's bad. Oh my God.
I know the president of the company has been consulting with lawyers, so I don't know all the details on that.
The violation of the penal code carries potential prison sentences of no more than 10 years in Japan. The Taxation Bureau conducted a search of UFO Table's offices on March 12th as part of the investigation. And according to the report from the company's president, Hikaru Kondo was allegedly directly receiving some of the revenue accrued from the studio's merchandise sales. Oh man, that's so bad. It's bad enough that you didn't pay your taxes, but then to be misappropriating funds from charity is bad. And then it's even worse that that's from the Tohoku earthquake. That is, that's like, that's the worst thing. That is.
You could have picked anything else. You could have picked anything else.
That is, it could have been literally anything. I mean,
literally anything else aside from the catastrophic event that earthquake was.
I mean, oh my God. Okay, that's bad. Okay.
Yeah, and I also wanted to add that at this part in time, no charges have been filed against Condor or UFO tables, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
It'll be interesting to see if UFO table exists in a year. So all the UFO table fans should be quaking right now.
Shook. Yeah.
Shook for sure. All right,
Shook
and
for
this
sure, dude.
this is a good moe you got here, Mandy. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has an entire clothing line, a fashion
About
line,
time.
and some of this stuff is crazy.
Dude, I love it, dude. This looks sick.
I love it.
Hirohiko Araki's characters from JoJo have appeared on fashion magazine covers in the past and in photo shoots and whatnot, but the guys from Golden Wind, which are particularly super popular, Giorno Giovanni and Bruno Buccarati are now inspiring.
I think it's Bucerati. I don't know.
Bucerati are now inspiring a new fashion collection from X-Girl. Fashion line includes brightly colored shirts featuring the characters themselves and pieces emblazoned with Buccarati's teardrop patterns. The shoes are wild. Wow.
Yeah. Also, Vans has a line of JoJo shoes now. And Bucciarati's shoes have like the zipper because he's known for his stand as like a zipper thing, so he can like zip through different like he can open up a zipper in anything that goes to somewhere else, or he can like unzip his arm his hand from his arm. It's crazy.
Did you run into any information about how much this clothing costs?
No idea. I don't even know if you can get it over here. I know it's available in Japan, so maybe you could find it on a Japanese website and see if you can get it shipped over here, but I don't know.
I feel like at cons, you're going to be seeing some of this stuff. Someone's going to be wearing it.
It looks
100%.
great. You should look it up. It says suit up to become a gangstar with JoJo's fashion line. So if you look up that article, you can see pictures of them.
I really want to know how much the shoes cost.
You want those shoes, fam?
I don't know that I would wear those shoes, but I want to know how much they cost.
I want that black sweater, bro. Like the black short sleeve up top, at the top right. Oof. I want it.
You got to go.
Gotta
You got to go to Japan and get them from X-Girl.
Damn.
All right. So the trivia this last week, we're at the end of our trivia, which is on the website AAAPodcast.com, and the prior theme was really bad anime, and I picked the worst possible photo I could from Super Lovers. Oh God!
Oh, you have some mercy, my guy.
It was a picture of the adult guy holding the boy up in the air, and he looked so little in the photo, and it wasn't. He looked 5 in that particular photo, and I was like, "This is really bad." So, the winner for the week was Fio, who actually won our last round of trivia.
Oh wow! I believe Fio also submitted to the top 5 thing.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
And the winner for the entire round or for the month was Schrodinger's Answer.
Oh,
Nice.
moly.
I like
It
that
must
name.
be my birthday.
So we're gonna get a prize out to you. So thanks for playing the trivia, and I have put a new photo up and started another round of trivia of ecchi anime. So go to the website and you can look at the photo and see which ecchi anime it is and submit the answer, and then you will maybe win yourself something. You never know.
And just for information, the Vans cost about $88.
Sick.
It's like super
The JoJo ones.
super not expensive.
I might buy some. I think me and Mason and I, he's been on this show before as a guest. We were looking through these. Like, we really want these Bucciarati ones.
You should.
Yeah, I want them.
You should make
Yeah, they're great.
You should make yourself happy. Do what makes you happy. Go get yourself some zippers. You could just go buy zippers and just sew them all over your clothing.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It'll never be the same.
You could go get a tattoo of a zipper and put it like on your wrist so that it looks like you're gonna unzip your hand from your arm.
Wild.
That's the answer. I'm doing it.
That would be wild.
That's the true way.
All right, someone get us out of here. to the trivia.
Okay.
News break.
As always, we have a question to ask you to contemplate while we go on break, because we need to take a break. This week's question is, which of the following race never makes it into Rimuru City in the anime that time I got reincarnated as a slime? Dwarf, Dired, Orc, Centaur, Direwolf, or Goblin? Think about it. Think about it really closely, and we'll be back soon. See ya.
Anime Addicts, Mitsuki's here to guide you to the promised land of anime news. Starting us off, we have a little bit of information about what the hottest Blu-ray discs are in Japan right now for the week of April 8th through the 14th. It looks like leading out the list is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind, which just continues to be a super popular anime. Followed by Kemuri Kusa Volume 1, Mysteria Friends Number 2, the recent Quintessential Quintuplets Volume 1, and I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Rounding out the top 5, I would note that the Blu-ray sales in Japan continue to drop, and this is less and less a source of revenue for the anime industry as years pass. Next up, Kyoto Animation and Animation Do is putting on a fan event that they didn't do last year, but they had done it 1 year before in 2017, an event that is titled We're Here Now. It's the first festival in 2 years. So this event in Japan costs 12,000 yen to get into, but it does come with 2 Blu-ray discs and with an original animation work that you can watch. It's basically a fan event that lets people view exhibits that have recreations of the studio's different workspaces and have interactive exhibits showing animation and things like that are hanging up so you can look at some of the artwork from the anime properties that you know and love. It's just a cool event that's being put on by Kyoto Animation and Animation Do. And if you want to check it out, you can see their works from 2017 to 2019, which is going to include things like Violet Evergarden. So you can do some more research about that online. But it looks like a pretty cool event that Kyoto Animation is putting on. Next up, there was a pretty interesting story about a fiberglass Zaku from Gundam that was put on Craigslist. Somebody selling a 20-foot tall Zaku Gundam for $6,000, listing one up a couple weeks ago, and it looks like it's been taken down already, so I'm guessing they sold this item. According to the ad, the statue was on display at the Bandai Namco offices of America in Santa Clara, California, but for whatever reason, it's not anymore. If you want to check out some pictures of this giant Zaku, it does look pretty neat, and you can find it online. Apparently, he did get his $6,000. Next up, Rumiko Takahashi is coming out with another manga series. It looks like this is going to be coming out in the 23rd issue of Shonen Sunday that is going to be coming out on May 8th. The story is described as a mysterious romance between a boy and a girl from different worlds whose paths collide, which shouldn't shock anybody coming from the creator of Inuyasha, because that's basically the plot synopsis of Inuyasha. The title is Mao, M-A-O. So, yeah, we all know that Rumiko Takahashi's been around for about 50 years now, has done some great works, such as Mai Senikoku. Of course, I've mentioned Inuyasha, Ranma 1/2, and a bunch of other really popular stuff. So if you're a fan of Rumiko Takahashi, there's another manga coming out called Mao that's going to be in Shonen Sunday. This was Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break. Now, time to get back to the podcast right now.
Hey Mitsuki, can I get your help moving something?
Chiaki, please. How long have you known me? If you wanted to see D's guns, all you had to do was ask.
Please put your shirt back on. No, but seriously, I need help moving a new bookcase.
Another one? Don't you have enough books?
Blasphemy! And don't you know JList.com has art books? Tons of them.
Oh no.
Some of them were kinda naughty, so I went to JList.com's non-adult mirror site, JBox.com, for my art book pleasure.
Yeah, right. We all know you bought the naughty ones.
I did not.
All right, how many did you buy?
1 or 2.
That's not...
100.
Man, Chiaki, we can't trust you around our books or on JList.com, can we?
It's 2 of my 3 weaknesses combined. And thanks for helping me with the bookcases, because JList.com just loaded in my web browser.
As long as JList.com sells art books, I better keep hitting the gym.
And now, great moments in Anime Addicts Anonymous history.
What is your video game Mount Rushmore? I would say Mega Man. Mega Man deserves to be on this list.
Nowhere near the Mount Rushmore.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
Are you kidding?
I mean, yes, Mega Man has some great games, but who? Are you kidding me?
Dude,
Mega
you
Man
are out of your mind,
on the
man.
Mount Rushmore?
You're crazy. You're going to put Master Chief that hasn't contributed anything to gaming, and you're going to knock out... And you're going to knock out Mega Man, which basically solidified Capcom as a game company.
And where are they now?
One of the biggest video game companies in the world, responsible for Resident Evil, 1,000 arcade machines.
When was the last?
Oh my god!
When was the
I
last
can't
good
believe
Resident
it.
Evil?
I can't believe it.
Hasn't Capcom stopped making video games?
No, I would argue absolutely 100% without a doubt that Sonic the Hedgehog, who basically founded Sega himself, is more important than Master Chief.
And he fell off a cliff just like Mega Man.
But that doesn't matter. He created an entire company. Without Sega, you wouldn't have the Genesis, the Dreamcast.
Who cares about the Dreamcast? That system was...
Dude, Sega Corp is a gigantic company that makes like half of Japan's arcades.
BCom says, where is Sega now?
Making billions and billions of yen.
In the video game industry?
Yes.
In the video game industry.
Dude, you're nuts,
What video
man.
games are they making?
They make tons of video... Dude,
What video games?
You're only
What's a big
Dude,
Sega video game right now?
dude,
What's a big game?
I need you to calm
I'm
down
just
so I
asking you
can
a question.
talk.
I just want to know.
And now, back to the podcast.
Kazuo was out of control during that segment.
Every time I hear that, I'd cringe
Out of
inside.
control. Out of control.
Oh,
My
because
butthole cringes.
is that because Capcom's made like 8 smash hits in the last 6 months?
Yeah.
Wild.
When was the last good Resident Evil? Like a month ago. Poor Kazuo, he's never gonna live it down.
Before the break, we asked the fam to answer this question. We said, which of the following races never made it to Rimuru's town in the city? That time I got reincarnated as a slime. The races are dwarf, dryad, orc,
Dryad.
centaur.
Dryad?
Yeah. I don't know what
I've
that
never heard
was,
it
man.
pronounced as that.
Yeah, you know why, Manny? Because that's incorrect. Centaur, direwolf, or goblin. The answer is centaur, which you would know if you watched the show.
You would know. It's one of those
would
things.
know.
It's like the high school teacher gives you a test on a book, and it's like he makes the question. He or she makes the questions so that the students, if they miss it, they know for sure.
It's
100%.
very obvious.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, you didn't read it. You didn't read it. You didn't get the
obviously
hell out of
didn't
my
read it, you
class.
Dummy.
I'm now going to give you a pop quiz, and those of you that fail are getting the hell out of my classroom right now. I actually had an English teacher throw a desk once.
Sick.
What?
Yeah.
How did he keep his job?
I went to a private school that was ex-military, and
Oh.
I've had some things done to me. I had a teacher body check me into a locker once and dent the locker.
The fuck, dude?
That is
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. It used to be
All right.
military. They used to be marching around with rifles and shit.
Wild.
Yeah, but he
Well,
got mad and threw a desk across the room.
on a different note, I'm gonna shout out a listener, Jason Matson, in the chat, who said, "Enzo, I started watching Beck, and it's amazing so far, dude. You are an intellectual. Congratulations,
You're smexy.
Smexy. What do we got going on here, Mandy?
Oh, is it time for my manga minute?
It's time for your manga minute, friend.
Let's get some. You gotta bring that thunder, brother.
And now, let's take a minute for the manga minute with Mandy.
I don't know. This isn't exactly my thunder music.
Bring it.
Alrighty, this is Mandy's Manga Minute, where I take a minute to tell you about a manga and help you find something new to read. And this week, I'm doing Final Fantasy Lost Stranger. Scoring a job at Square Enix, Sasaki Shogo's dream of producing a Final Fantasy game finally seems within his grasp. But after he starts, he quickly discovers that the work has nothing to do with his favorite franchise at all. Disillusioned, his enthusiasm for Final Fantasy begins waning despite his sister/co-worker Yuko's attempts to lift his spirits. Their conversation is cut short. I'm sorry, I'm already laughing. Though when a runaway Chuck suddenly careens towards the two of them,
No.
When Sheko comes to, the first thing he sees is a Moogle. Wait,
A Moogle?
Was that a cure spell? A chocobo? Hurled into a Final Fantasy world unbound to any particular installment, how will an Uber fan like Shogo survive? So Final Fantasy Lost Stranger is an isekai shonen series based off the popular Final Fantasy XIV MMO. The story is by Hazuki Minase, and the art is by Itsuki Meya. It was part of the Final Fantasy 30th anniversary project, and is being simulpubbed, which is a really funny word to me. Simulpubbed in both Japanese and English. To be honest, I only purchased this because the name Final Fantasy was attached to it. That's the only reason. And it's the only reason I've kept up with it. It doesn't stray too far from typical isekai tropes, including our main character being hit by Truck-kun. The so popular Truck-kun.
Truck-kun does so much work lately, man.
Yeah, man, Truck-kun's in business.
He's in business, making so much money.
I will admit that it is fun to see things that are iconic to Final Fantasy being explored by our protagonist. Like the cities, the races, skills, enemies, and characters that appear in the MMO also show up in this book. The manga also quickly turns this fun video game romp into a life or death situation. Sasaki realizes that living in your favorite video game is actually pretty dangerous, and there's some very serious risks. And after tragedy strikes, our main characters decide that they have to completely rethink their situation and adapt. But like I said, it's very typical, typical isekai. Overpowered protagonist who develops unique skill, being reincarnated into another world via truck.
Oh my god, I love the music.
Video game logic plays a large part of it, and needing to befriend an adventuring party to take on the boss. And as far as the art goes, though, I think some of the action scenes are very messy and kind of hard to interpret, but some of the characters have very interesting designs, though, and there's some nice backgrounds. I think it's fun. It's a fun read for Final Fantasy fans, but if you have no experience or history with the franchise, I don't think this stands out among any other isekai. It doesn't really have anything else going for it.
Yeah, but you're right. I can see where you're coming from, because I just looking at this cover design. I would like to flip.
That's why I bought it.
Yeah,
Final Fantasy MMO manga.
Final Fantasy MMO manga with these cool character looking things. Yeah, I'm fucking down.
That's what they should do for isekais. Make them based off of real video games that everyone plays. Because I think that's the one those are the games that everyone wants to be a part of.
Yeah,
make me an isekai Elder Scrolls.
If Truck-kun murdered the shit out of me and I reincarnated into Final Fantasy, I'd be like, yeah, I'm down. Thank you, blessed one, Truck-kun, for giving me this power.
Yeah.
Sure.
So if you play the MMO, it's a fun read. Other than that, there's really nothing else to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna get
That's my victory music.
Oh shit! Every time
leveled.
Every time. Oh, what skill are you gonna take?
What skill am I gonna take?
Yeah, dude.
You just found
what is the one that I was missing in 7 that screwed me up? I could never finish the last, the water breathing one. I accidentally deleted it, the materia, and then I couldn't defeat the weapon underneath water. What was it?
Get wrecked. Is it what? I don't know. Just my generic Final Fantasy guess.
I know you get it from the ship.
Waterga?
I don't know. It was one that lets you breathe underneath water, and I think you got it from the skeleton ship, if I remember. But I got it and somehow destroyed it.
Nice.
Screwed me all up.
Young Mandy really fucked that one up for you, dude.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next, dear producer-san?
I was trying to find the name of the materia that lets you breathe underwater.
You know what I'm talking about there, right?
Yeah, but I don't know the name of the materia itself. I was gonna say if you could.
Which weapon was underneath water? Ruby was the one that was underground. Emerald weapon.
Yep.
I'm looking it up.
We must know.
Emerald weapon.
I think it's called Morph is the name of the materia.
Morph.
Yep.
Matt the Doctor says Emerald weapon. You need water breathe. Water breath.
It's just water breathe. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's water breathe or breath.
Water breath. Okay.
Yeah, water breath.
I don't know.
Look, it's been. I was like, how old at that time?
Was I even born, fam? Like I don't
14,
even know.
15. I don't know how old I was when I played Final Fantasy 14.
Final
Or 7.
Fantasy 7 is still my favorite Final Fantasy game, but
It's good.
Final Fantasy 9 has the best music.
Ooh.
Oh,
okay.
it came out in 97.
Yep.
Oof, I was 5 years old.
I was
Oh,
12.
man.
Dude. So that just as a side note, those 3 years were actually even you could say the 4 years were absolutely peak for Final Fantasy. They put out Final Fantasy 7 in 1997. In 1998, 1 year later, Final Fantasy 8 came out. 1 year later, 1999, Final Fantasy 9 came out, and then I think 10 came out in either 2000 or 2001. All 4 of those games are like all-time great RPGs, and they put one out per year. Are you kidding?
Yeah, which is insane. I was just thinking, I was like, dude, to put out a Caliber story like that today, it'd be like a 2 to 3 year process.
Dude, it would be like 8 years. Crazy.
Yeah, what the fuck,
And like,
dude?
Nobuo Uematsu, the composer, wrote like 100 unique songs for every game. Dude, that's like writing one song every 3 days. And some of these songs are like, big, like
Orchestral masterpieces,
yeah.
bro.
I mean, how
Yeah.
that guy, man. Speaking of overworked, good
A huge team
lord,
today is overworked, my guy. Good damn.
good lord. Anyway,
Good lord.
I quake in my boots every night before I go to sleep for the Final Fantasy VII remake. I just wish we could wish it away. I wanted it for so long that I was begging for it, and then once I saw what they were doing with it, I want nothing to do with it. I'm so terrified.
Dude, you're gonna be first line to buy that shit. Don't stop. Like
It's-
you're Mitsuki.
I didn't want an action RPG. Nobody wants it.
Look me in my virtual internet eyes right now. Tell me you're not gonna buy this new remake.
I am gonna buy it.
All right.
But just like I bought Final Fantasy 15 and haven't played more than an hour of it still, it may sit on my shelf for the next 15 years.
That's untrue. You're gonna be Cloud Strife for 100 hours when it comes out.
I could just go play Final Fantasy 7, the original again, and
This
be
is true.
Cloud Strife with no mouth.
This is why we
You
don't
can
finish
be,
this.
you can be a box
This is
monster.
why we don't finish this podcast in 2 hours. We like too much shit too much.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right.
What do we got
man.
today?
What we got?
Well-
We got a big thing today.
Yes, we do. We have a topic that was suggested on the Discord by Adrian Montero 1337, and which is Leet, by the way, Leet speak. If anybody didn't know that. So big thanks to Icy Rose for putting this together. Where's my drop? Because this topic was suggested by Adrian, but ultimately orchestrated by Icy Rose. So big thank you there.
Yeah.
That a lot of people. I'm just gonna say it felt like 50 people. I don't know, but a lot of people, more than we have time to do, unfortunately, all suggested 5 of their favorite anime, and we are going to attempt. And I say attempt because
Yeah,
it's-
because here's what was happening, and this is what made this really challenging, but obviously fun. But what's really challenging is that it's not something I thought through, but like when people gave us 5 anime that they love, a lot of the time it covered 5 different genres, right?
yeah, and
So
different
in
eras
order,
too.
In different eras. So in order to recommend a thing, what would happen is like I'd be like, okay, these are 5 completely different anime, but what do they have in common? Like what common thematic thing do these 5 things share that in essence can give you something new?
Hey, Enzo.
Yes.
My 3 favorite anime of all time are
Uh-huh.
Ninja Scroll,
Okay.
Clannad,
Okay.
and Initial D. Can you come up with an anime that I might like? Of these 3 completely polar opposite genres.
Yeah.
Clannad, Initial D, and fucking Ninja Scroll, dude.
I
Oh
just
my
like
God.
it's like savagely violent auto racing and like heart crushingly sad school drama. Anyway, so we're gonna do our best to suggest a show for you to listen to or to watch from your top 5 list.
Yeah.
And,
Also, in the people who submit it through the form and not on Twitter, some of them link their mouths, which helped out a lot, and so that way I can find things that maybe other people like that aren't really as well known in the community. we don't guarantee that you have not seen any of these.
Yeah, I honestly didn't.
Thank God you said that, because I was gonna be like, disclaimer. We can't promise you if I haven't seen the one.
I honestly didn't reference the lists because it was just too difficult. But I'm hoping that all of you at home that are listening and that did not make a submission, and you say, "Oh my goodness, this person likes the same things that I like," you may also receive an indirect recommendation and find something that you might enjoy.
That's the ideal, right? Like if I was listening and someone mentioned 3 of my top 5 in their top 5, and then the recommendation is something I don't recognize, like I would take that as a recommendation for myself, you know?
All right, so without further ado, I'm just gonna do the first one real quick. Various submitted to the forum their top 5, which was Evangelion, Monster, Jagai no Kun, Nana, and Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Which, of course, super different genres, all of those.
A lot of different genres for sure. My thought process here was I can tell that this listener likes to have some dramatic stakes in here. And also they just like Nana too. And then I looked through, because they linked their mouth, because I was having a lot of trouble recommending for various, because these 5 are so different. To the point where like I feel like they would watch anything that's good. So I went to their Mal to see what they haven't watched, and your Mal, dude, is vast. Like, you've seen a lot. But what I didn't see on there was Paradise Kiss at all, which is by the same person that made Nana.
Correct.
So that wrote Nana. So if you like Nana enough to put it in your top 5, try Paradise Kiss.
I suggested Kaiba from Yuasa. And the reason I suggested that one, and I looked on your list, I didn't see it there, so I don't know if you have seen it and just haven't listed it. But between Ghost in the Shell and Neon Genesis, both sci-fi, both dealing with sort of what exactly is like humanity sort of themes. Definitely check out Kaiba.
Okay. Zero Ryoko made a submission. And their top 5 was Arya, The Natural, Fullmetal Alchemist, K-On!, Azumanga Daioh, and Madoka Magica. So there is some similarity here. You got 2 school anime.
Yes.
You have a shonen anime. You have a supernatural, like, magical girl show. So let's see here.
And K-On! is a music anime too.
Correct. And so I said Sora no Oto, which is feels a lot like K-On! A little bit, because it's like you have your troop of like 4 girls. There's some music in there. I think at least one of the girls plays the trumpet. And I think the art style is very similar to K-On! So that's the best I could do.
Yeah. I went with because when I see that someone puts a music anime in their top 5, I like to think that they would like another music anime. And then when I thought about the fact that they have a shonen on here, and also just other shows that can handle some drama, I recommend Kids on the Slope if you haven't watched it already, because you'll get music for sure. You'll get music in that show, but at the same time, you'll also be balancing like a nice slice of life type feel to the drama in the show as well.
I just went based off of Madoka Magica, and I didn't see this on your list, and I suggested Princess Tutu, because it's also has that kind of little more darker, mature magical girl series. Madoka's definitely darker, I think, but you might like this one as well.
I think you're a badass for referencing these lists. It's man.
Not everyone listed something, so then when they didn't list their mouths, I kind of had to guess.
Yeah. All right, General Mills. I love that name, by the way. Their top 5 is Konosuba, Hunter x Hunter, and you're gonna hear a lot of Hunter x Hunter today.
Yeah, it's all over the fucking place.
Yeah, it's like
there are a lot of repeating series.
Yeah.
Steins Gate everywhere.
There's a lot of Monster in here, which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
Konosuba, Hunter x Hunter, Monogatari series, 2nd season, Kino's Journey, and Kara no Kyokai, specifically the 5th OVA.
The 5th one, yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think? What did you guys think for General Mills?
So for me, like I can tell that this dude likes a bit of a darker twist on their shit. Aside, Konosuba aside. So I in recent memory, like my brain is still like thinking about the Promised Neverland. So if you're not current on like your anime watching, because a lot of these shows aren't necessarily newer things, watch the Promised Neverland. It just wrapped up for the first season like 3 weeks ago or so. And it's awesome, and I think you'll get a kick of it considering like you have like dialogue heavy driven stories on here. So I think you'd like it a lot.
I just went based off the Monogatari series, and I don't know if you've seen this. I know not a lot of people watch this. It went really underneath the radar, came out last year. I suggested Kubikiri Cycle. It's also Shaft, and it's also by Nisio Oisin. So yeah, you might like that one as well. It's a very trippy murder mystery. So yeah, if you like that sort of Nisio Oisin's writing and Shaft's like art style, check that one out.
All right, moving on. Chili suggested, and this one I thought was a little easier. Chili suggested Sword Art Online, Wotakoi, Cowboy Bebop, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Grimgar Fantasy and Ash. And so I looked at these 5 and I said, okay, you've got Sword Art Online, which is like an isekai about in a game. You have Wotakoi, which had a fair amount of being in a game in it also. And Grimgar Fantasy and Ash, which is an isekai with a sort of D&D game type feel. And I said, because of those 3, and I tried to pick an older show because you're more likely to hit a show that isn't something you've seen. I said Dot Hack Sign because that is also
throwback,
basically an isekai inside of a game, and one of the original I'm Trapped in a Game series, maybe the original. I'm not really sure, but it's one of the first. So Dot Hack Sign, and if you like Dot Hack Sign, there's like 5 other Dot Hacks that you can kind of explore.
Yeah,
so,
I went. It's not recent. It's also a bit older. Maybe at this point, maybe almost 10 years old now. But I went to show Last Exile, and not a lot of people talk about Last Exile. It's I know Kazuo loves it too. He's one. Yeah, he's mentioned it with me a couple times. But it has a fantasy steampunk feel to it. I love that show a lot. It has 2 seasons. I think I appreciated both. I picked it for you because you have these 5 shows you picked to have a whole bunch of fantasy sci-fi aesthetic to them all over the place. So I think steampunk is a kind of a natural progression or a sidestep for you. So try Last Exile and see if you like it. I think the flair of that show will be enough to get you to try the story out and watch it all the way through.
I just played off the Wotakoi part of your favorites. If you like romance, and especially with one person who is super otaku, then try out I Can't Understand What My Brother is, or What My Husband Is Saying. Not my brother. Scratch that.
Scratch that. Definitely
I can't understand what my husband is saying. It's a very short series too. You can blow through it very quickly. I think each episode might be even 3 minutes. I know they're very short, and there's 2 seasons, and it's a really cute watch about a very, I don't want to say normal girl, but
what is
a girl
normal?
who's not into it, the complete opposite of an otaku. Like, she's very stylish and not interested in anime or anything, and her husband is a major otaku, and it's about them living together and trying to understand each other.
Yeah.
Why is it otaku? Why not otako?
Otaku? I don't know.
I'm just hungry.
You mean an octopus?
No, I want to eat a taco. I would like a taco.
Oh, gotcha. I was thinking taco as octopus.
Well, no. I would like a taco with seasoned chicken, some shredded cheese, some shredded lettuce, tomato, onions, and I want some guacamole on top. Thanks.
So just a taco.
I want a taco. Yeah, I want a basic, normal taco. Thank you.
Yum.
Make it happen. Adrian Montero has some submissions here, and we've got Tokyo Ghoul, Toradora, Golden Time, another Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Shield Hero.
Shield hero.
Man, this is a variety.
That's quite a
Yeah,
variety.
very
So
much so.
Here's where my brain went. If I'm allowed to go first. I think like based on these five, you like a little bit of a darker aesthetic, but you also like some light fluffy shit. Considering Toradora and Golden Time out in here. So in Golden Time, Nana from Nana shows up around like the
Yes, she
midway
does.
point. She does, and that-
Randomly as hell, by the way.
super randomly as hell. But I freaked the fudge out when I saw that.
I bet.
Yeah. So, and I think Nana could be something fun for you. If considering if you put Toradora up here and Golden Time, then you have space in your brain.
Oh yes!
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, yeah. Then I think you have space in your likes to bring Nana on because it will give you some nice drama. It'll give you some nice fluffy romance here and there. But it also has the darker aesthetic thanks to Nana O. So try Nana out.
I just went based off Toradora, and I suggested My Little Monster, just another romantic, like slice of life comedy that's also takes place in school. That's all I could think of. Sorry.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Because when we get 5 suggestions like this, bro, it's like we have to find a thematic. Like either we pick one, like Mandy does, or we try and find the common thematic thread between the 5.
Yeah, it also has some very peculiar characters in it as well. So you might like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Try
know.
it out.
Try it out.
All right. Nelly 1876, longtime listener,
Long time listener.
says Space Brothers. It's a great choice. Ghost
Great
Hunt,
choice.
Tatami Galaxy, Genshiken, and Barakamon.
Oh, we have an intellectual on our hands here. For Nelly, I really think when you mention Barakamon, Genshiken, and Space Brothers, I think that you really value like personal relationships between people, and also maybe just like some good like learning, like some good perspective on stuff. So I went with a slice of life for you, and it's a show that I really enjoyed, and I know it's a show. It's a manga that Mandy recently just read too. So I recommend Silver Spoon. I think you would really, really,
good.
Yeah, I think you would really, really enjoy that slice of life a lot, considering you put, and mostly because you put Genshiken and Space Brothers here. I think you would love that personal growth that the main character goes.
I also didn't see on your list that you have seen Welcome to the NHK. So I suggested that one because it came out around the same time as Genshiken, kind of has that sort of art style to it, and it's also very psychological, like Tatami Galaxy. So yeah, try that one out.
Okay. Next up, we have Kyojin.
I feel like I'm reading tarot for the listeners.
Kyojin puts Erased, Haikyuu, Kids on the Slope, Ping Pong, Animation, and GTO. Great teacher Izuka.
So this one's a little biased for me because I've talked to Kyojin before, and him and I share a lot of like musical tastes together. So like I feel like he's a kindred soul, especially when his lists are, it has Kids on the Slope, Ping Pong, Animation, GTO on there, and Haikyuu, of course. Erased is not an anime that I really super love, but the other 4 are huge for me. Kyojin, I want you to watch The Great Passage if you haven't. The Great Passage is a really, really beautiful story of a team of people making a dictionary. I know that sounds incredibly boring, but I know you a little more than I know the other listeners that have submitted. I think you'd appreciate a lot of that human interaction and the musicality of that show too. So try that one out. It's an anime that's really special to me, at least. I think you'd like, considering you put Kids on the Slope and Ping Pong up here.
You'd make Enzo happy in his special
Kyojin's
spot.
cool, man. He has really good music taste, so I think he'd like The Great Passage. It's not a musical show, but I think you value the same things I value in stories and shit. So
I was trying to see what his honorable mention was. There's one here, but I can't see it because I can't edit the doc. But
Honorable mention.
It says
Honorable
Golden
mention.
Boy, Silver Spoon, FMA, FMP, Bebop, Death Note, Code Geass, and Berserk.
oh man, that's a lot.
a
There's
lot
a
of
lot of different genres in here.
Yeah, but I can see the slice of life boy in Kyojin. It's in there.
Yeah,
especially with Silver Spoon.
This one was hard for me. I went. I'm going to assume your favorite is Erased just because it was first. I don't know if the list went, first to last or last to first. But based off of Erased, I came up with, and I don't know what's on your list, but I came up with Shinsekai Yori, maybe. I don't know. They both have that kind of psychological and supernatural genre, and with disappearance of children, and I don't know. I don't know. It was hard for me. That's what I came up with.
I mean, that's a good show. So
Yeah.
if anyone hasn't watched it in general, like, just watch it.
All right. Corny Mystic submitted Wolf's Rain, Haibane Renmei, Paranoia Agent, Magus Bride, and Parasite. So I looked at this list, and there's actually a lot of similarity in here. So there's several very dark anime in this list, and there's several anime that are very psychological. And so I said that this person would probably like other Yoshitoshi Abe product works, including Serial Experiments Lane. They might like Technolize, which is a sort of an obscure, very dark, like dystopian type of show, and Ergo Proxy. You might like that. So.
Oh wow.
What about Higurashi?
Deep pools, boys. Wow.
If you can handle the violence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Through these 5, I felt a like for some sci-fi, but sci-fi that teeters more on like the shonen action side just a little bit, especially with Parasite and like Paranoia Agent. And the reason for that is that I think you putting Wolf's Rain here shows me that you probably do enjoy some like shonen aspects to your stories. But with Parasite and Parasite doing the same thing for me, but with Paranoia Agent on here, along with Parasite as well, I think sci-fi came to my mind, and I want you to watch Eden of the East. I think you'll get a nice like touch of sci-fi, like a kind of same tone that Paranoia Agent tries to deliver, and you'll get some action type scenes as well. So watch that one if you haven't. Sorry, I just apologize in advance because it doesn't really end, but I think you'd enjoy the ride.
Okay. Next on the list is Fio. Fio submitted Clannad After Story, Shinsekai Yori, Chihaya Furu, Steins Gate, and Monster. It's a very like extremely wide. We've got
we have Clannad on here.
We have a drama, like a card game drama, a sci-fi show, and a like psychological mystery sort of.
Yeah, and so again, like another. Yeah, and because of that, because I see you have like some sci-fi, but you also have a lot of dramatical stakes here, and just it brought me to Eve no Jikan, or Time of Eve, because it's one of those shows where it has a really cool aesthetic, and it like makes you contemplate some shit when you watch it.
Very much so.
Yeah, so it's I think you'll really enjoy the presentation of the show. I think you'll enjoy the atmosphere of the bar that is set in, and I think you'd appreciate the overall backdrop of the story, considering you have Steins Gate on here and Monster.
And a very cute robot that looks like it came out of Nier.
Super cute robot.
Automata.
Actually, yeah. So I think you'd like Time of Eve.
Yeah. I looked at your list and I did not see Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju on there anywhere.
Oh, great.
I chose that one because that also, I do see a lot of dramas in your list, but also, Chihaya Furu. And, they're both kind of a very, like, unique to Japan arts. So, yeah, you might...
Oh, man, good fucking pull, man. That's
like
a good thread to pull on.
Unless you've seen it already, it's just not on your list.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I didn't even think about the fact that Chiafru is a very Japanese, set story. So yeah, man, that's good shit.
Anybody who likes Clannad should go watch Bunny Girl Senpai. You have that on your list, but people should just know that. But you also had Monster, and so I just wrote down another Naoki Urasawa property that doesn't get watched all that much, and that's Master Keaton. Definitely a sort of different type of show, but if you like that sort of like realistic flair that Monster's got, like more of like a real world type setting, you might like Master Keaton. And Naoki Urasawa is generally just good all the time for the most part, so you may like that. Salty writes in, Salty suggested Durarara, and he ranked them. He wrote number 1, Durarara,
Yeah.
Steins Gate, Monogatari franchise, March Comes In Like a Lion, and Noragami. So again, a lot of different types of shows here.
Mm-hmm. My takeaway from your 5, and Salty is very active on the Discord, and I know that he's quite current on anime. I think he's watched a shit ton. So it was hard to think of something that you haven't watched, Salty. And I feel like you might have watched the one I'm about to recommend to you, but the reason I'm recommending it to you is that you have Sangatsu on here, so that lets me know that you are okay with that animation style, that you like those kind of stories. But you also have Durara, which shows me that you can handle like a large cast of characters that are all pretty cool. So I want you to try Honey and Clover if you haven't. Same people that wrote, I think, made Sangatsu. And it's a big cast of characters, and because because you and I have talked, and I know like your age, it was like a good anime for me to watch when I was your age, because it takes place in college, like the first year of this kid's college life. So yeah, I think you'd appreciate it if you haven't watched it yet. So Honey and Clover, it's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, Salty's very active on our Discord, so I kind of have a feeling of the stuff that he likes. I don't. On his list, it doesn't say he has seen Kekkai Sensen, but I suggested that one just because the comedy, the action, the large cast of characters, supernatural stuff. When I was, looking between like Dorada, I know he has seen K before, and I know he liked K, and Noragami. That's just the kind of feeling I got from it. So, yeah.
Next up, Brandon Gamblin.
This one was hard for me.
Wrote Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Konosuba, Penny and Stocking, and Mobile Suit Gundam 8th MS Team. And so,
I think Brandon has seen a lot, so this one was really hard for me.
Oh crap! I didn't even I don't think I even saw his submission. Whoops.
What did
he write? Let's see.
So because Cowboy Bebop and Trigun and Mobile Suit Gundam 8th MS Team are all kind of old school shows from Toonami, I threw another Toonami show out there that's from that same era, and that's Outlaw Star. So I'd be really surprised if you haven't seen Outlaw Star, but like it's definitely, if there's like a pocket of shows that represents Toonami, you've listed a few of those already, and Outlaw Star is another one of those. And Outlaw Star is just generally an amazing show. If you haven't seen it, you should. So
yeah, you should try out you should try out Black Lagoon if you haven't tried out Black Lagoon, or you should also try out Space Battleship Yamato. And if you've seen those two, maybe try Eureka 7. Try it out if you haven't seen Eureka 7 yet. It's a solid mech show.
Yeah, I was getting a balance between like late 90s and comedy shows. Between, like Konosuba and Panty and Stocking having that kind of comedy to it, and Cowboy Bebop and Trigun being around, late 90s. I suggested Excel Saga. I'd be also surprised if we haven't seen that already, but I kind of just combined the two.
Yeah, that's Excel Saga's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brookie Bowles from
on
Twitter.
We're moving to Twitter subs now.
Moving to Twitter. Has said Tatami Galaxy, Paradise Kiss, My Love Story, Skip Beat, and Sayankoku Monogatari. So
wonderful list, by the way.
It feels like there's a lot of like romancy type stuff on this list, and so I picked some more romancy stuff for you, including Akatsuki no Yona of the Dawn, and Fushigi Yugi, which both are like romancy, and especially the Fushigi Yugi also has a Chinese sort of flair to it, like just like Sankoku Monogatari does. And Akatsuki no Yona is gonna like scratch that like shoujo sort of itch that you'll get from another show like My Love Story maybe. And I also wrote His and Her Circumstances just because it's a classic romance, and you might like that.
So this person really likes Tatami Galaxy. It's listed as number 1, so I'm going to assume it's their favorite. I suggested The Eccentric Family because that's the same author, and it's a fantasy drama, with a little bit of comedy in it about a family of tanuki. And there's also Tengu in it. And the Tanuki and the Tengu are kind of rivals in this world. But there's also a class, or there's also a group of people who, I can't remember, they're like the Friday Fellows. They eat Tanuki. So it's about this family that is just trying to live in this world and escape, the Friday Fellows.
I originally, I don't know if Mandy and Mitch saw me do this, but I was gonna recommend Ping Pong the animation to you, but it just hit me that you do have like shoujo, like a lot of shoujo romance stuff on here. So I want to throw a romance at you that like recently had some resurfacing because of the Kickstarter that came out, but it's one of my favorite romances of all time. That's 2 seasons too. It's called Emma Victorian Romance. I've mentioned it before on the podcast, but like it is a super solid slice of life drama set in a Victorian setting, back in like London and in the year that was going on. I forgot the year that setting takes place in, but it's really sweet. It's a nice romance about a maid that catches the eye of a young bachelor boy. Yeah, it's really sweet. Try it out if you want a good romance. Anyone wants a good romance that doesn't dig deep into the anime archives. Emma, a Victorian Romance, is a super solid watch.
All right, Raiko-sen says Hajime no Ippo, Monster, Honey and Clover, Seito Kai Yakuin Domo, and Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. So this is kind of all over the place. And so
Raiko-sen's an intellectual as well, having Honey and Clover on.
So again, I'm going to recommend Master Keaton because of the monster reference, but I'm also going to recommend Slam Dunk because of the old school shonen sports feel that you'll get out of a show like Hajime no Ippo. A little older than Hajime no Ippo, but also sort of another one of those shonen sort of sports shows that are a little more serious about sports, like it's like about the sport itself. So I think you might like it. So but yeah, a little all over the place.
I looked at his mouth. He has not seen Kase-san and Morning Glory, and I know Rai because he's very active. He's been on our Discord forever. You should go watch Kase-san and Morning Glories because I know you love romance, and this is a a beautiful shoujo romance movie. It's not that long, so check that out.
Yeah.
Like I know Ryan, I really think that you would enjoy this a lot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Rise. Yeah, I also like full transparency. Rise also active on Discord too. So, and him and I have talked about our fucking soft shit. Like he loves all the soft shit I love.
Yeah.
So I don't actually. I didn't think to check your mail, right? But if you haven't seen Genshiken, I think you would love it. He has. Okay, great. Cool.
He came to our manga club for it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that I can tell that you would like Genshiken. Cool, because yeah, people like if you guys like slice of life, if you guys like some secondary plots dealing with romance in there with a nice cast of characters, being themselves in college, Genshiken, just watch it. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yep.
Yato RGS has a good list here. Ping Pong the Animation, Kill a Kill, Another Monster.
Dude, Monster's crazy, bro.
It's because I
there's a lot of monsters.
That's because I recommended it like 400 times. Chihaya Furu and Great Teacher Onizuka.
Solid list, Yato. Super solid list. This covers a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, so...
Oh, did I not recommend anything here? Oh, shit. I must have skipped this by mistake. Okay, fuck.
I was saying that if you really like that kind of fresh animation style, like between like Ping Pong, Kill a Kill, it seems to me that you really like anime that don't look like your typical anime. And maybe highly like character-driven stories. Try out Gankutsuo or The Count of Monte Cristo.
Since you like
sure.
GTO, I'm gonna throw Shonen Junai Gumi out there because that's the prequel to GTO. And I think a lot of people have watched GTO like a lot, but I don't think nearly as many people have watched Shonen Junai Gumi. So you may enjoy that, and it's also it's also fun.
And I'd say based on like similar to Mandy, based on the animation route, like if you haven't watched Tatami Galaxy, watch Tatami Galaxy. You might like that. And if you haven't watched Golden Boy, try Golden Boy out too. Mm-hmm.
I love Golden Boy.
It's just so solid. It's so ridiculous.
It's
solid.
so ecchi, but it's also just like spot on hilarious, and
Yeah, it's not
just
bad.
good.
It's good.
It goes beyond ecchi.
Yeah,
It's beyond.
it takes it to a good place.
Mariner Bert says his 5 favorite are Shirobako, Showa Genroku, Rakugo Shinju, Aria the animation, Nichijou, and Denpa Ona to Seishun Otoko.
I can already tell that Mariner Burt is a good person. Through this list, they're a good person. My recommendation for Mariner Burt is Bakuman. It is an anime revolving around these two mangaka that want to make a successful manga. And a reason I put it there is because you put Shirobako on there, which is, you know, an anime about, you know, people making anime. And you have Showa, which is, you know, very story driven. And you also have Nichijou on here, which lets me know that you like some comedy flair in your life. And you have Arya here too, which is a huge slice of life. So Bakuman covers all those things in its own way, in a really nice package. So if you want to try it out, you should. I think you would like pretty much everything about Bakuman if you gave it a try.
Every time I see Nichijou, I think Daily Life's of High School Boys.
Yeah, how could you?
Because
not,
it's that
man?
same type of very absurd comedy, except boys instead of, you know.
Yeah.
So definitely try that one out.
All right, I think we're only gonna do about 2 more. That's about what we have time for. I know we have like
We have tons.
We have tons. We're just if we did them all, we'd be here for another hour. So.
Sorry if we didn't get to you.
Yeah, sorry, friends. But like you guys, like, here's the thing, man. Tweet us. You know,
Sure.
Mitsuki has Twitter. I have Twitter. Mandy has Twitter. We'll plug it at the end here. But tweet us, message us, talk to us. I mean, we're here to talk anime, man. Like, that's what we do. So come through.
On that note, Alex Cook Ford says, he likes. I guess maybe it's a he. Ergo Proxy, Wolf's Rain, Hunter x Hunter, Evangelion, and K. Now, Evangelion, whenever I hear someone, Evangelion is a fairly unique show, but there are other shows that sort of are like it, and I think that if you like Evangelion, there's a show called Razafon that when I watched Razafon years ago, I thought this is just a lot like Evangelion. So I think that you have a good shot of liking that. And also, I'm going to recommend Technolize again because it has the same dark tones of Wolf's Rain and Ergo Proxy. You may enjoy that.
Yeah, I wrote down Eureka 7 as well, just because I think you'd enjoy the mech aspect and the characters in that show too.
I didn't write down anything because this one was really hard for me. I didn't know what to do because I was trying really hard not to suggest the same thing over and over because that doesn't help anyone.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I feel like everything that I would have suggested I've already said or someone else here has already said.
You think they'd like Durarara?
You could try out maybe X. That kind of has some darker themes to it as well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I think so.
The last one we're going to do, by TGM1, Assassination Classroom, Death Parade, Nana, Code Geass. There's a lot of Code Geass, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
And Kami-sama Kiss. Now, if you like Nana, there's another manga done by Ayazawa who made Nana, and Paradise Kiss is that. So I think that those two are in tandem. I think that if you like one, you'll most likely like the other. So I'm gonna recommend that. If you like Death Parade, I think Bartender is a good pick. You know, they're definitely.
Yeah. We actually we talked about that briefly, right, Mandy, on the last episode.
Well, Bartender isn't as Death Parade has a lot of like thriller to it. Bartender is very
it's more slice of
very
life.
laid back.
Yeah,
it's the type. It's not something that you can easily binge. Bartender is like
Slow
if you
as
were
hell.
watching Ristorante Paradiso kind of type of anime.
And I haven't watched a lot of this, but I'm told that people that like assassination, I can't say that.
Yes.
Ass class.
Ass nation.
If you like assassination classroom, you would also perhaps like Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, which I haven't watched
Which is
a lot
wild. I don't think they're anything alike.
That's what I looked it up online. I was like, and that's what I got. So take it or leave it.
Yeah, for you, to me, like I like you have Nana, Death Parade, and Kami-sama Kiss, and for some reason when I combined those three in my head, I also wanted to give you Kids on the Slope if you haven't watched it yet. I just think you'd enjoy it. Also, like try like an oldie, like try Peach Girl for some reason. It comes to my mind.
Peach Girl.
Yeah, from fucking forever ago.
That's
It's such
so
a
far back.
silly show. Yeah, it's from forever ago.
Wow.
But yeah,
Peach
try
Girl.
that one out.
This
Oh
is
my
the first time I've seen Kami-sama Kiss come up
That's
anywhere.
what I'm saying.
So that's what I leaned into. And I was thinking, like, if you like that kind of bittersweet romance show with yokai, try or if you like bittersweet romances, like I was thinking of, combining Kami-sama Kiss. I know Nana has a lot of drama in it. So maybe try Into the Forest of Fireflies.
Ooh.
Or you could try Inari Konkon Koi Iroha. That one's there's a lot more comedy in that one.
Definitely do Into the Forest of Fireflies. It's such a good pick, Mandy. Holy shit. Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
That's a really good movie, dude.
All right, so we're not gonna be able to get to all of them, but I do love you all for your submissions. If you want to just throw them at us, I am at Pope Mitsugi. The podcast is at AAAPodcast, and you two have changed yours at least once, right? So what are yours?
Yeah, go ahead, Mandy.
Oh, I'm AAA_Mandy, and I spell Mandy with an I.
Yeah, and I'm at Enzo Badia, ENZOBADIA. Please follow us. It makes us look cool when we ask people to help us out and collaborate. Please follow us. Please, just follow us, please. Okay, thanks.
All right, and
Yeah, it's fun.
the in-show trivia question is, which hair color, and this is from Mandy, which hair color does not belong to a member of Kuroko no Basuke's Generation of Miracles? Yellow, purple, green, or white?
I know this.
And when we come back, we're going to have the answer to that. We're going to have our 5-star review, and we're going to do the long-awaited review of the listener choice anime. Was it? No, it wasn't.
No.
But of the anime, that time I got reincarnated as a slime and also mailbags. So stay tuned, and we'll be back in a minute.
See ya soon.
Anime Addicts, Mitsugi's here, bringing you your required dosage of anime news. Leading us off, we have the TV ad ratings for animation properties in Japan. Not much has changed here on this list. Sazae-san, Chibi Maruko-chan, and Detective Conan are still the kings of the world. But there are some notable changes on here. The recent anime Mix, which is a currently airing TV property, is actually on the top 10 list at number 8, coming in just in front of Yokai Watch. And just behind Oshiri Tante, which means butt detective. It's an animation cartoon about a detective whose head looks like someone's butt, which is pretty funny. But Mix seems to be popular in Japan right now. So if you're watching that, get excited. Maybe you'll be getting a long run of that anime property. Next up, Netflix has commissioned an original anime. It looks like this is the first title to be commissioned by Netflix without the involvement of a production committee. The title is called Eden, and it's going to be coming out in 2020. There is a synopsis. Thousands of years in the future, the world is inhabited solely by artificially intelligent robots whose former masters vanished long ago. These mechanical caretakers have created a perfect utopian society free of crime, violence, and poverty. On a routine assignment, 2 robots accidentally awaken a human baby from stasis, bringing into question all they thought to believe. There are a couple of animation studios credited as doing the production, including Beijing-based Nice Boat Animation and Shanghai-based Wolf Smoke Animation, so this looks like a Chinese animated property. The director is Yasuhiro Irie, who worked on Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and some other notable staff, including Toshihiro Kawamoto, who worked on Cowboy Bebop. So if you're a fan of Netflix's anime properties, this one's called Eden, and it's coming out in 2020. Next up, it looks like the manga Hokago Tebe Nishin is getting an anime adaptation. This coming out of the 5th issue of Young Champion Retsu, one of the seemingly billion different magazines in Japan that have manga in them. It is a slice-of-life manga, English title, After-School Embankment Journey. First-year student Hina Tsurugi prefers to do indoor activities such as crafting, but having recently moved to a seaside town, she runs into an older classmate, Kuroiwa, who invites her to join the Teibo Club and start fishing. Surrounded by eccentric club members, how will Hina's high school life turn out? So it sounds like a fun school, of course, sort of slice of life comedy. And the title again is After School Embankment Journey, which is going to be getting a TV anime pretty soon. Rounding us out, it looks like the Young Blackjack manga has finally ended with its 16th volume. This was announced in recently that the manga would be ending and when it ships this summer. So this manga went on hiatus previously as well in March 2017 so that the creators could prepare for the next arc of the manga. And it looks like it's been pretty popular so far. And of course, this is a follow-up to Osamu Tezuka's classic series about the doctor who worked in like the black markets, you know, which started way back in 1968. So if you're a fan of Blackjack, well, Young Blackjack is ending, but perhaps there will be some more Blackjack coming out sometime in the future. This was Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break yet again, and it's time to get back to the podcast.
Hey, Mandy, you look troubled. What's wrong?
Butts.
Excuse me?
It's all of these anime boy butts. There's just so many of them. I can't decide what's my favorite. I've tried to categorize them by firmness, bounciness, rotundness.
Okay. 2 things. First, you may need some serious help. Second, why don't you go look at the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast website?
Can that help me get to the bottom of this?
Stop. You know, puns are my thing, right? Also, no, it won't help you with that at all. You are beyond help. But on our website, you can find all our past shows, along with reviews and trivia. Sign up today, and you'll have access to our Hobby Addicts and Hentai episodes.
Hentai episodes? So I can hear other people review butts for me?
Sure. I guess if you want to look at it that way.
Now that's something I can get behind.
Cheeky.
Just another day in the Church of Mitsugi.
Dearest child, confide in me your sins.
I don't know, is this a sin? I was just gonna say boobs don't accidentally fall out, but I have had my boob accidentally fall out of my bra before. Not out of my shirt, but out of my bra, so I mean, I guess it kinda does happen. I mean, boobs are jiggly.
Oh, woest, moe-influenced child.
My boobs are
Ye hath
moe-influenced.
contributed to the moe movement. Let these sins be known, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Another soul has been saved. Back to this heavenly podcast.
Welcome back
Hello.
to
Hello.
the 469th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. So, which hair color does not belong to a member of Kuroko no Basuke's Generation of Miracles? Yellow, purple. You know what? God damn it. We need some, like, livelier music.
I was just about to comment how we are probably the only anime podcast ever to speak on classical movement of music.
All right, so the intro trivia question was, which of these colors does not represent a member of the Generation of Miracles from Kuroko no Basuke? Yellow, purple, green, or white? Mandy?
White
That's right.
will be the correct answer.
That's right. There's also there was also like a bluish, I think, or
Blue.
or a
There's
reddish.
red.
Yeah.
Akashi's is kind of pinkish.
Yeah. Kuroko
Alright.
has the blue.
Kuroko's. I don't think he's a member of the Generation of Miracles.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he is.
Wasn't he the sixth man?
He's the 6th unseen member, bruh.
But he's still a member.
Oh, okay.
Don't take that from him.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know
sorry.
if Akashi's is supposed to be red or pink. It's one of those.
All right.
Salmon.
As we always do, we have a 5-star review to read from iTunes. So thank you, as always, for doing the 5-star reviews on iTunes. It really does help to set us apart when people are kind of trying to pick something that they want to listen to. And we punched through the 500 mark on iTunes, but we still want to keep it going. So let's get to it.
It's time for iTunes review.
KB Gherkins writes, all the hosts are fun to listen to. Their chemistry and reviews make them addicting to listen to. While I'm at school, at work, driving, I'm always listening and laughing at all the jokes everyone makes. Thank you, and glory be to the Pope.
Glory be to the Pope. Bless. Wait, Mitz. Bless KB. Come on. Let him have it.
KB, in your righteousness, I shall deliver unto thee your own salvation, your hope, your light. It is in my hands, and it is now with you.
Wow.
You, too, may be an acolyte of the Church of Mitsuki.
Wow. What a blessed
Amen. And as the music swells, so do I.
What are we doing, man? What is?
I don't
Okay.
even know.
We are ridiculous people.
All right, so now we have a review of that time I got reincarnated as a slime, which I believe was.
I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Really quick. I guess going off the fucking Pope music here. To anyone that practices and is of the faith, happy Easter.
Oh, happy Easter.
Because today is Sunday. We're live. People are listening, but happy Easter.
Eat some
if you
jelly
practice.
beans.
Yeah. Go find some.
I
eggs.
love jelly beans. Jelly beans are good.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are.
good stuff.
They're real good.
Mhm.
Even if they are made out of horse bones. All right, gelatin. Gelatin's got animal bones in it. It does. Check a bag of jelly beans. It has protein.
No.
In it.
Even
It
like
does.
I think gummy bears.
Oh
and
yeah.
Stuff all have it.
Oh
No.
yeah.
No.
Dude, candy is
There's
made
a lot
out
of animal bones in it. Yeah.
No.
and red food coloring comes from insect shells. So you should look all that up.
What?
Yep.
What?
There's a lot of
Cochineal
shit, dude, that you
beetles.
don't know
Guys,
about.
my world is literally shattering in front of me.
Yeah. You're eating weird shit all the time. You just don't know it. All
Isn't there
right.
an article once that bread has hair in it?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff.
So that time I got reincarnated as a slime was one of Kazuo's shows. It's one of the last shows that we've got from the fall season. Are you guys just snickering?
We're trying.
I
Sorry.
can't get it together today, man.
All right.
So
Serious business time.
Yeah,
All right.
serious business.
Okay,
Serious anime is serious business.
It's very serious.
No more laughs.
No more
Serious
fucking games,
anime.
people.
It's
All
sort
right.
of- listen, if we fucking laugh one more time, I'm off.
Next person who laughs is straight up fired from this pod. You're out of here, Mandy.
Get the fuck out, Mandy.
All right, I'm done.
All right.
All right.
Don't
So
laugh challenge. Don't laugh challenge in full effect.
I don't care if you have feet.
keep the fuck. All right.
Happy.
A man is.
I'll give a fuck if you have.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Is that from a hentai episode?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
I thought. I didn't remember which one.
I believe we were discussing. Never mind. You can just. All right. Never mind. All right. So. Oh my. A man is killed by. All right. This slime anime is ridiculous. A man gets stabbed to death in the street. And right at the beginning.
Where was Truck-kun?
Yeah, Truckun was. He was on. He was on vacation.
On break, I guess.
Yeah, he was on vacation.
Truck-kun was
Yeah.
gone, so we called Knife.
He's in the Bahamas.
We called Knife-kun to stab this guy, and he is a virgin, like a 30-year-old virgin or 40 or something, and he gets stabbed and he dies. And as he's dying on the street, this like random, just mysterious entity, like a computer system's voice, is in like his head. He's like, and they're like, physical damage nullification skill acquired, and immunity to temperature change skill acquired. And like all these friggin' skills come up, and he's learning all these skills. And then he dies, and he's reborn as a slime. And the best plot synopsis I can give for this slime anime is just how I wrote it on the document. With overwhelming strength, he proceeds to overcome many challenges in this new world. Basically, he reunites everybody, gets many BJs from the world, and is everyone's friend. Happily ever after.
Can you give a slime a BJ? How does that work?
Well, he can transform into pretty much whatever he wants in this show. So probably.
So in theory,
So you can make a giant slime peepee?
he could just be a peep.
Oh my.
What if you were just a whole? What if you were just a peepee the whole time? Like, what if that's your entire?
What if you're incarnated as a dick?
as a dick? Would life be bad or good?
Good question.
Probably
I guess it
not
depends on
so
your
good.
perspective, huh?
Not so good.
Not so good. Could be great.
Yeah, so the slime is born into this world that's full of like D&D type stuff. There's all of your classic sorts of monsters. There's orcs, there's elves, there's goblins, there's ogres, there's dragons, there's you name it. They've got it in here. And it basically is exactly what I said. It's a fun sort of feel good show about a community that gets built and where all kinds of monsters and stuff of different types come together and live together in the city. And
Would you expect going into it?
Well, I don't really do a lot of research beforehand, and there's a reason for that. But I had heard good things about it. I knew it was an isekai show. I had heard good things about it, and I expected it to be a lot of fun. That's pretty much what I thought.
How about you, Mandy?
So yeah, when I have a long history with this one because for the longest time, Amazon was like, you should buy this manga based off of what else you thought you might like it. And I was like, I don't trust you, Amazon. That looks like trash. And when I saw the anime was coming out, I did end up buying the first volume because I wanted to read it just to see. I went into it with the kind of mindset of this is going to be stupid. I can't wait to get into something stupid. And then I was pleasantly surprised by the first volume of the manga. And I ended up reading up to, I think, episode 6 of the anime. And it was really different from other isekais, what I read, at least. Because it was more slice of lifey. And it, character wasn't reborn as like this really hot guy that everyone is falling over. It was instead of slime and super overpowered, but wanted to make friends with everybody. And so I was hoping for more of that going in.
How about you, Enzo?
Yeah, I had no idea what the show was about, but I'm not necessarily looking forward to an isekai, unfortunately. So I was a little, on purpose keeping my expectations low because what I was expecting was I was gonna hit plan episode 1. I was gonna be completely annoyed at the way he gets sucked into this world, which I was, and then now I was going to, based on that, I was going to be in like a slightly pretentious mode watching this isekai, being like, this is so stupid. So that's truly where I was at going into it. But to my surprise, if I can bring us to our non-spoiler recommendation, yeah, I like the show. I like the show quite a bit. I like the fact, like Mandy said, that this main character is not your typical hot boy that's here to be an idiot or whatever. Rimuru is great. He has a solid head on his shoulders. He's quite logical and tactical. Like, he isn't really here with ulterior motives, although like obviously he has his ecchi little moments here and there with boobs all over the place, but all in all,
quite a few
boobs. Yeah, quite a few boobs. All in all, though, it's a very soft and warm ride that the anime takes you on. There's nothing, it's not an anime that requires a lot of brain power. Like, you can just turn it on and just let it be, and you'll enjoy it for what it is. And so I would recommend this show to anyone that does like isekais, because if you like isekais, you're gonna love it. If you
pretty much
if you like easygoing, feel good shit, you're gonna like this.
Yep.
If you like fantasy, I think this is a good palate cleanser from like darker fantasy or even like high fantasy. So I think in general you would like people that like anime that get, because if you like anime, you have like, you're more likely to give permission to a lot of things in this show. So like, yeah, in general I think I would recommend the slime anime to pretty much anybody.
Yeah, I just think I would not recommend it for people that are looking for like a serious show, because this is not this show's not serious, at least in my opinion. So I
think it's objectively not serious.
there's not much what is the word, there aren't really any trials and tribulations, I would say.
There's no huge stakes.
There's not. Yeah, so just don't expect that. Just if you just want to watch a fun show where like happy things happen, then that's pretty much this. If you're looking for a show with a little more grit to it, or a little more You know, let's roll our elbows, let's roll our sleeves up and get down and dirty with, you know, something. That's not this show. So
yeah, going into this, I really loved the first couple episodes, and I feel like I only like parts of this anime because I feel like I really enjoy the slice of life parts because they were completely different to the isekai genre, at least today's isekai.
Yeah, for sure.
He is super overpowered, but I like the parts where he's using it to benefit the city. I feel like I really dislike a lot of the action parts because they get very repetitive. It's bad guy, Rimuru defeats bad guy. Basically, that's the formula of every action fight because there is no stakes in this at all.
No, there's really not.
So if you like isekai and you really like those overpowered protagonists, I would say give it a shot. I think him being a slime, I really enjoyed the parts where he's a slime. He does eventually... well, I guess that's a spoiler part. There is a part where I feel like the novelty of him being a slime is gone. And I dislike that entire part of the whole thing because I thought that was very unique. But yeah, I think if you like the isekai genre, give it a shot. Outside of that, I don't know who else I'd recommend it to. I don't know if I could. If you are looking for something very serious, I wouldn't recommend it at all.
Yeah. All right, well, we can head into spoiler-free recommendations if you want. I should also mention that this is done by Studio 8-Bit and directed by Yasuhito Kikuchi of Studio 8-Bit. And probably the Infinite Stratos is pretty much what you'll know them for. Studio 8-Bit hasn't done like a lot of super well-known stuff. They did Knights and Magic. And I was kind of surprised to see that Yasuhito Kikuchi did Saint Seiya, which is like really old. So... he's still around, I guess.
Oh, really?
It's amazing, though. Yeah, this guy's been in the industry for like 50, 60 years. So, all right. So, why don't we mosey on over to ye old Spoilerland? How about that?
Yeah, let's go. Let's take a ride to Spoilerville.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god!
All right.
I feel as though although this was in the 20s for episode count, there's actually not that much to talk about.
No, there's not.
Really not. And the reason I say that is because of what you guys are pointing to more than me is that the story here is not really a thing. There's no they present to you the essence of a big bad, but there is no real direction there.
There is a demon lord. We don't know much about him.
Exactly. And I'm assuming that's going to be a season 2 type thing because they present him and then it's done. Like nothing happens there. But the formula of the show, like Mandy was pointing to, is very much so that Rimuru is extremely overpowered because he takes in
he's Kirby.
Yeah, he's basically Kirby, but OP as fuck, right? Like like extremely OP. And basically, anytime any potential type of stake is presented where things might go south, they are immediately taken care of by Rimuru. Yep. Immediately. Like, without much of a sweat, either. And unfortunately, it's always solved by the same mechanic, almost, where it's either through comedic bit or through him sucking that thing into his slime. So in terms of story... It is kind of a letdown for me. I treasure story pretty much more than anything in a show. Story and characters, right? So, story-wise, it is a little bit of a letdown if you need a story and you're watching because this one doesn't really have it. This one has things. This one has events moving in a direction, but there's no story there because there's no real conflict. So that's where I'm at with the story. I don't know if you guys feel the same. It's like unfortunately something I objectively have to state that I don't like too much.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that it's Easter because I kept thinking how Jesus like the slime was. There's even a line where he says, "I'm gonna take your sins upon myself," and I was like, oh, I was already kind of thinking that, but then you went ahead and said it, and I was like, okay, but like that's what this show is like a bad thing is happening, and then he basically just fixes things, and then everybody starts worshiping him immediately, and unfortunately, after like the literal 10th time it happened. It happens every time another like race joins the city. So it happened with first it was the goblins, then it was the wolves, which by the way, the wolves are like super into their like pack that they're in, and they're all about their leader, and then they just give up their whole like everything they have like immediately. They have like no conviction at all. It happened with the ogres, and it happened with the dryads, and it happened with the lizard men, and it happened with the dwarves, and it literally all these, and it happened with a demon lord, and it happened with the humans. It happens with everybody, and after the 10th time it happens, it stopped being fun and interesting because it just became really predictable, and then it kept reaffirming your prediction over and over again. Even in like one of the most intense moments in the show, which is where like a giant war breaks out and you're thinking, oh, here are some stakes, like they might destroy the world or whatever. He just jumps in and like saves everybody. And then what happens? Yeah. What happens? Oh, the orcs fall to their knees and worship him. Right? And so like the show is so unbelievable. Like it really isn't a bad show. Like I rather enjoyed it at times. I would say up to episode like 10 to somewhere around to it until about around the halfway point, I was really liking the show a lot. And especially in the beginning, I liked it a lot. But it became so stale, like very stale. And then, and then the end of the show, which we're going to get to, is like totally different and just like what?
Yeah. It shifts in tone pretty sharply.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just trying to think if I forgot any of the animal types. There's fairies in it as well. I think I got pretty much everybody though.
You forgot humans.
Yeah, but
they don't matter.
They don't matter.
Humans don't matter.
Not in this show.
Not in this
yeah,
one,
I really loved the beginning of it because I thought it was very interesting. He was born as reborn as a slime. Because that's not something we have seen at least in anime. I know there's a lot of weird manga out there, like a girl reborn as a spider. But as far as anime goes for isekai, I thought this was pretty new, and I liked how they animated the slime because he was very adorable, and I like how when he had expressions, it showed up like physically on his body, like a question mark or an exclamation mark appearing out of his slime. I thought that was really cool. And I like how he gets eyeballs sometimes. And I thought that was interesting. I think the part where I really fell off is when this other world traveler, or this other girl, was reborn into this world after. But she's been there for years and years. She was there. I think she was killed during the
bombings?
Yeah, the bombings. I don't know what area she was in, but she died during the bombings in Japan and was reborn to this world. So she's been there as a summon for so long, and she does pass away during the events. But Rimudu takes her in, like eats her after she has passed away. And so she becomes a part of him, and now he can transform into a human. So at that point, I was like, the interesting part of him being a slime is gone, because now most of the rest of the show, he's a human.
Agreed.
And I don't know. I dislike that part a lot.
Yeah, it's like you sold us on the slime thing. I mean, it's in your title, right? So like I understand the political tactics of having a humanoid form, but like it did retract from the charm that the anime banked on. Like like this anime didn't sell you on like an epic story. Like this anime sold you on the fact that you're following a cute heckin' slime doing slime things,
Yeah, yep.
So yeah, I'm with you there, TBH.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the slice of life moments in the beginning, because he is so stupid overpowered. Like he can take in everything.
Yeah.
Like anything that he possibly wants. He can make potions, he can fly, he devoured a dragon, so he has dragon powers, He has so many powers now.
Spider silk, poison, lightning breath, immune to physical, immune to heat, immune to cold,
immune to poison, immune to everything.
Except boobs. He's paralyzed by boobs.
He's not immune to boobs. But
he is kind of a boob. Sort of like he's like,
kind of a squishy boob.
I mean, he's pretty much a boob. Like from what I've known about boobs in my life,
just one boob probably. But
yeah, I really like the beginning, because I felt, okay, he is overpowered, but we're using it in a different way. He's using it to build a town. I think I personally would have enjoyed it more if it was more about just uniting the races into a giant town, which it is kind of, but I felt like a lot of the war parts were just so boring because they're so repetitive.
Does this
I
show?
would have liked it more as like just about politics.
Listen, I fully agree with you about the humanoid form thing. I think that even though it could have been used for political purposes in the show, like meeting with different types of people, he uses it too much. It could have been fine, a few times to have a conversation and to shake a hand, but he chooses to be in the humanoid form more often than not after obtaining it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And it's like, so what's the point? Now, here's a question I kept thinking of. Is this show really just one big political message?
No,
I'm
think
really
it might
hoping
be-
not.
I don't know.
I didn't get that, and you two know me. Like, if there's a political message here, I would pick it up because
Are
you
you
know
sure?
what I mean? Like,
Are you sure it's not about anti-xenophobia or about races living equal racial equality or something?
I mean, inadvertently, yes. I would say it's the message is much more, happy than that. It's not that specific. I think the message of this show is like power and unity in general, not necessarily through the lens of racial inequality. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not telling you, it's not telling you like, love all races. That's the way to go. Even though that's correct, I think it's just saying power in unison.
Yeah, because I'm generally not thrilled when something is really just a political message, because that's not really why I generally watch a piece of entertainment. But
I know what you mean.
I was just checking.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Other things about the show, I think it looks okay. Like, it's not animated that well.
Right.
We didn't really touch on other characters aside from Rimuru. Because
okay. Well,
one thing I really do like about the show is that it's a massive cast of characters, like like a shit ton of characters are in this show.
Shit.
And most of the time, I really love all the characters, especially Gupta. Love Gupta. I want to hang out with him so much.
He was great. Yeah,
he was great. He was fantastic. I love how all the goblins turn into like hot goblin men. He's just like,
I think that's everybody.
Oh.
Whatever he gets a name to anyone, they turn hot.
Oh, by the way, I am down with Gobelina.
oh, dude, you.
Dude, I am down.
I like the ogre, dude.
I'm down.
Dude, the red hair ogre dude. Oh,
Benimaru.
so hot. Benimaru's
But
so
I
hot.
also like how Rimuru has like a slight crush on the other goblin guy. He's like, oh, he's so dreamy. That part was great.
I also love, and this is where the show, this is evident, is the writers of this show, yes, they didn't give us a great story to like follow, but they gave us amazing character interaction. And one of my favorite things about Rimuru is that he's very hyper a lot of things. So when there's so many times where he like is like the ninja dude that he makes, the ogre ninja dude, that he envies him because he's so cool. Like, the ninja dude will come.
I think his name was Soe, but I could be wrong.
Something like that. Let's say it's Soe for now. Like, what Soe will show up like out of nowhere, like from the shadows, deliver a message in a really cool way, and then like disappear again into the shadows. And Rimuru will go, "Man, you're so fucking cool." Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
dude.
he's so dreamy.
And it's just like, yo, like
He's
you're
blushing.
I'm not thinking, you motherfucker. Yeah. Like, oh, kakui. He's so cool.
He has a little man crush on him. It's great.
Yeah, but what about Gobelina?
Yeah.
We know she's hot. Okay.
I mean,
I like the other ogre woman too, Shion. But I think I liked her better as an ogre.
You guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You guys asked me before if I was down with Gobelina, and I looked up a picture and I was like, man, she's a little too Shrekky. Is what I said. I was so wrong. I'm down with Gobelina.
You love her, dude.
I'm down.
You love her so much.
I'm down.
But yeah, so I hope just like our tone of voices here, I think, is evident enough that this show, it's just, to me, it's just a little unfortunate how the story was overall lackluster, but like the characters do shine in the show. I think each character played a good purpose. You can argue they're very tropey, but they execute very well in these interactions, and I think a lot of that is in where Rimuru shines, where he is a great straight man to the things going on around him, because he reacts very naturally. He doesn't overreact to things, which is something that turns me off from like other
Yeah.
isekais, especially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was
Like,
going to say that I really hate saying this because it sounds kind of pathetic, but I like this one because it's not as problematic as isekais are moving in that direction now. Where
that's what
it's
I'm
like,
saying, bro. Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
there's no slaves. There's no plot based on rape.
nope, none of that.
It is compared to the others that are trending right now. It's far more wholesome in a way.
I think it's entirely wholesome. You could argue.
The biggest problem with this anime is that to me it's boring.
It becomes a little boring
because it's just so predictable. Like everything about it is just absolutely. You could have the biggest threat in the world, like you're guaranteed everyone's gonna die. The world is over. Everyone's gonna die. The skies are gonna burn. The oceans are gonna boil. And then Nibunu will just walk up to the enemy and just suck them into his hand, and boom, it's over.
Yeah.
And then every single person falls to their knees and worships him like a god, and then they all join the city. It didn't matter how much they hated him, how much they hated everyone else, if they have like prejudices, just like if they're evil, good, it doesn't matter. They fall to their knees, worship, join the city, everyone's happy. That's exactly what and it's just like, but the thing is that like that's going to happen, and then sometimes when you think like that when you're watching something, it doesn't, and you're like, oh, it didn't happen. Look at that. In this anime, it really does. Every second episode, it does, and you're like, oh, okay, well, here we go again. Can we talk about the end?
I think it's a fun and cute show. Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say to wrap up your thoughts on it. I do think it is a cute show, though. Like, I think it's fun.
Oh, it is. It is. It's just
I don't think it's a good binge.
It's too long.
That's what it is, and I think that's why maybe Mitz is feeling this more than you and I.
Yeah,
because I think you and I were current, and Mitz was.
I was not.
Watched it in the last week and a half, right, Mitz?
Nope, I watched it in 3 days.
Nice.
Yeah. I watched it. I watched 6 episodes and I put it on hold just because I had so many shows to watch that I was like, I'm just gonna wait till our review. So
you binged also technically.
Yeah, but I binged it throughout the week though. It wasn't
gotcha.
Exactly 3 days.
I
watched 5 episodes a day.
I was week to week, so I think I felt it less than you guys did, but I still can realize that the story is weak. Like I wasn't. Yeah, exactly. Like every week a new episode came out, and I liked it because I liked watching the characters beat themselves, but I didn't necessarily look forward to what was going on because like I could guess it. Like I've read a million novels in my life, I could guess what this one's gonna do.
Yeah. I want to talk about the ending real quick because we are running out of time.
Yes, we should. The last arc is semi-interesting.
The ending is the same as all the rest of the show, actually. He basically goes and decides he's going to go take care of Izawa's kids, her students or whatever. And there's this like, they're talking about how these kids have too much magicite or whatever, so they only have like 5 years to live at most. And then it's like, oh, it's so depressing and the game over. And then like he comes up with a solution and solves their problem miraculously, and then they all fall to their knees and worship him. That's pretty much what happens at the end. Like basically, it's the same thing. Again, it's just a little bit. It's a same thing, different same food with a different seasoning. So because that's how I felt about it. I was like, of course he's gonna solve all their problems.
Yeah, and I don't think you're too out there to say that. I mean, I think you're correct. I personally love, and I've mentioned this before, like I'm a sucker for world building, so being introduced to a new city to me was cool, and seeing a human civilization was pretty cool. But yeah, in the end, it is kind of, by that point in the anime, I was not even thinking about the story anymore because it wasn't giving me anything new whatsoever, like at all. Like nothing was new aside from the new city and the kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that's all I got for story, man. Like the story is not there. It's just not there, and it's a huge bummer because everything else is there.
Yeah,
animation's there.
I'm with you.
I think the music's okay. I like the opening more than I hated it. I see here you wrote that you don't like it.
Well, the opening, I thought the opening was terrible. Like
which one?
The first one, especially. The guy absolutely cannot sing at all, and it's so atonal. Like, I couldn't listen to it. I couldn't. It was like
flex those music chops.
I mean, listen. listen, there was a section in the opening where like they break into like electric keyboard or something, and I'm like, this doesn't fit. It sounds horrible. It is amelodic. It was killing me, and I'm like, this guy literally, I'm not trained in singing. I would have smoked that guy in singing. Smoked him.
For listeners that don't know,
he would fall to his knees. He would fall to his knees and worship me the way that they all worship the slime. That's how bad this guy was at singing. I don't know who he is, but I was not a fan. The music in the show was fine.
That's crazy because I've heard you at karaoke and yep.
Damn.
Yeah, I didn't.
Correct.
I was dying.
Yeah, right, friend.
So,
no, but I want to say, listeners, that Mitsuki is a classically trained pianist. If you guys don't know that, though, when he says music shit, he's flexing. That
aside, though, like that doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It's not really that important of a point. I'm more interested in how this anime had no ending.
Did you guys watch the episode, the very last episode,
the journal
about Izaya's past or
I watched it.
Past.
I watched it.
I actually don't think I did.
Okay, good. I thought that was the last episode, so I wanted to make sure.
It was fairly interesting.
Because I think there's 23 episodes total, and I got to 22.
There's a 0.5, I think. Yeah.
There's 24.
Oh, maybe I watched the part.
There's
5.
24. There's 24, and then the last one's called 24.5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I watched that one. I just wanted to make sure everyone else watched that.
I watched it. It was a little different. I enjoyed it. It was not the same as the rest of the show. It had a different
with Diablo. I like Diablo's character design.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
The demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is setting up stuff for future additions to the series. So, yeah, it didn't really have much. It had a very see you next time kind of ending.
You know what, though? I mean, I know that this anime is going to eventually have a story, and it's going to be.
I hope so.
But like, I'm just going to go like on a small extra rant here, you know, because like,
okay,
here's the thing, right? We all know what the story is going to be. It's going to be Slime Guy goes and finds the demon lord that created Izaya, because that's what she said to do, right? And two things: one, you met a girl for 8 seconds, and then you're like, your life's mission is to do this thing she said. Not realistic. I mean, let's be real. You didn't even know.
I think he sees him because he swallowed her.
For like 11 seconds, he knew this girl, and he's like, he has to do everything she says, including like take care of her students and everything. To me,
well, I mean, like she's become a part of him now after he swallowed her. So I think he is seeing like a lot of her dreams. Like she is affecting him in a big way.
Maybe you can sell me on that. The other thing is that I'm sure they're going to get to that eventually. But like, do you got to drag me through the mud for 30 episodes to get to it?
Yes. I'm just kidding.
I mean, come on.
And that's where we're at. So you don't need to do that, but they did it, right?
I know, but holy shit.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong, man.
Anyway, I'm ready to score it.
Yeah. I could give some final thoughts here. I can't say I don't like the show. I love it really because I love what it did well, and I really dislike what they did not do well. So I do not like the lack of story because I want that. If I'm spending time on something, I want it to take me somewhere. And this story, this story, you know, this show, it takes you places but with no real substance, right? So like, I can't really say that there's a story there. But that's unfortunate because I liked everything else. This isekai had everything I wanted it to have aside from a fucking story, man. It's really disappointing. It had the characters. It had a protagonist I would follow. You know, like I wanted to be with Rimuru through his shit. Like I wanted to be there. I like him as a person. Also, shouts out to Great Sage. I love her sass. Good stuff from Great Sage. I love her character. As his skill thing. But the lack of story for me is too big. It's literally gonna subtract like a solid 2 points alone from me scoring this. So like, yeah, it sucks to say.
Ouch.
No, I'll say a 1.5. I'll give this anime a 3.5 slime balls out of 5 and that's because it had everything else done so well. Had it had a story, it might have been a really, really good score. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10, which is 3.5 out of. It's unfortunate.
I was not in pain watching this anime. Sometimes if I have to binge a show that's really long, I'm like, oh god, like, and I'm not liking it. It's just, There's nothing worse than having to watch 8 hours of something that you dislike in the span of like 3 days. It's tough to do. I didn't feel that way about this slime anime. I really didn't. It kind of got bogged down for me at times, and then it would pick up, and I'd be like, oh, okay, here we go again. It's but to me, yeah, it's a little long. I think we can kind of This whole show is about like having an atmosphere and a feeling to it, and it's like you kind of get the feeling, it's a happy town, and there's people people working together, and yeah, it's fun. You didn't really need 25 episodes to do that. Like you could have done it in 12 probably, and so to me, it's another one of those things I just don't think it respects the viewer's time all that much, because it doesn't present anything for you to really sink your teeth into in it, which is kind of unfortunate. And they really could have. Like I think they had a number of stories in it. They had a number of stories to tell. There was the story about the village that burned down. There was the story about the big war with the orcs. Like there was all these stories. But inevitably, they're all resolved in the same way, and then you're left with nothing afterwards. So, which is kind of unfortunate. And so, like, yeah, I think, despite that, I really didn't dislike the anime. I'm gonna give it 3.5 boobs on my head out of 5.
Really awkward half boob you got.
Because because he's got boobs on his head like half the show.
Yeah,
really large boobs.
Quite bulbous one.
Yes, very plump.
Yes.
Like I said, I really like the beginning, and I am okay with slice of life shows that are sort of lacking a story as long as the characters are very interesting. I think they're very engaging. Tanaka-kun does not have a story, but it's one of my favorites because it's such a fun watch.
Yes.
It's so I love the characters, and it does give you a kind of feeling. And I love the beginning of Slime because I was getting that from it. It was that kind of fantasy world, overpowered character, but he's using it to build a town. And so like when it came to like the orc arc and it came to the demon lord arc, like all of these different fights.
Yeah.
That's where it started losing me because they're so repetitive. I mean, he's always going to win everything. Why even go through it?
Oh my God. Mandy, he tames the demon lord with honey.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, I hated that.
For real.
Yeah.
For real,
half naked lolly girl.
It was just such
the lolly girl shit. Wow.
I really hate to say it, but in an anime that didn't feel anime up until that point all that much, that was a really anime moment.
Yeah,
like a little demon girl, a little demon girl with like a weird butt thong thing that was like way over. The most powerful being in the world is like a 8-year-old girl that was gonna wreck you and eat and destroy everything. Was tamed by honey. I don't think so.
Gave her honey.
Yeah.
It was very silly. I think it is cute though. Like there are very cute moments to it, and I think it's a fun watch if you are not going to binge it. If you're watching like every once in a while, watch an episode. I think that's good. Oh yeah, there's also all of the lizard men arc too. Every time it came to a big battle, it lost me because I was like, I already know how this is going to end.
Yep.
I'd rather have character interactions. I'd rather have, a little bit more of the politics and seeing what each race needs. I would have loved more of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think I would. I mean, the animation's okay. It's nothing fantastic. The music I didn't care for.
I think it meets standard.
I think the slime was really well done.
Yeah.
But eventually he loses his slime like for half of the show, and that disappointed me a lot as well.
Yeah.
I think I would give it 3 hot ogre guys out of 5.
I knew you would love the ogre boys.
The ogre guy is
He's quite sexy.
He's a Mandy character.
He's a made for Mandy.
Made for Mandy character, both in ogre form and his like
Oni.
hot boy form. They're both nice.
They're both hot,
my favorite character in the show, it was Ranga the wolf.
Oh,
I love
great.
it. Also looks like
so
Tiger
great.
from Monster Rancher.
Oh, good pick, dude. Ranga was so great.
He was so funny.
Yeah.
Every time something happened, he would just be like, and he's wagging his tail,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
hilarious.
I love that they gave like those silent moments to Ranga to just wag his tail furiously because like it's like he's a giant demon, but he's also just a fucking dog.
Yeah, there's even a moment where he's wagging his tail so hard it blows blows the slime away.
Oh,
This is hilarious.
You see,
these
like,
are really cute.
And
That's what the show had. They just didn't. Goddamn.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah,
you know
like
what?
I gave it a 3, but to me that's not a bad score. Like I don't think it's a bad anime.
No,
It's just there's a
no.
lot holding it back for me.
You know what? I'm gonna do something unprecedented. Because
Okay.
of Ranga, I'm gonna raise my score to a 4,
Wild.
Oh, damn.
which changes nothing about the actual score. It's still a 3.5, but yeah, and also because I loved how they all evolved when he named them, because it was fun to
Cool
see how
concept.
it was fun to see
Cool
how
concept.
they would like the orcs became high orcs and the lizard men became dragonkin or something, and the goblins became hobgoblins, and the dire wolf became like another type of dire wolf, and then it became like a star dire wolf, and it was like huge, and I was like, this is cool. So I'm gonna raise it to a 4, which is what I came in here planning to give it, and then I ranted, and I was like, maybe I don't really feel like a 4 inside my heart, and I'm gonna go back to it
No.
because I love Ron.
I do that all the time. I come in with a score in mind and then it changes completely.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, because like we're all stuck in our thoughts, and then we listen to other people, and we're just like, wow, you're right.
Yeah.
Mandy does that. Mandy does that a lot to me. I'm just like, God damn it, Mandy, I didn't think about that at all.
Sorry.
It's okay.
and by the way, that the dwarf, the blacksmith, he punches that one guy really hard.
Oh, real good.
He like killed him. All right, so
Oh yeah, right
he-
into the ground
he
too.
crushes him. I was like, damn, you really hit him hard. So social media, most people gave this a 5 or a 4, and the average came out to a 4 out of 5. So a little better than us, but that's fine. We're pretty close. So
Yeah,
and I
I
think,
see a lot of people that wrote comments are all mentioning how the second half is like a little bit sub tier to the first half.
Yeah.
Which is kind of echoes what we say.
so
sure.
here's one quick question before we wrap it up for the day.
Sure.
When the season 2 comes out, will you watch it?
Yeah, of course. Because
Oh,
I have
wow.
Maybe it depends.
I have hope because had this first season had something to look like, had some high stakes that were maintained well, it has such potential to be a great show. So because I didn't dislike the show overall, I will give it that benefit of watching it the second season for like the first 3. I'll do impressions on it most likely if I get the pick.
I would like to. I would watch it if one of you told me there is a story now and it's got a story
Sure.
that we're following.
Sure. Yeah.
If it's the same. I mean, I don't know how they're going to come up with enough like species of animals to invite into the town if they do the same thing they did the first season. You're going to have like. I was thinking that they were missing. Like
There are no elves.
There were no elves. Well,
Oh no, there were elves. They were just
They,
in a city.
He doesn't
with,
invite
like,
them.
Really sexy ladies.
yeah, they were,
Yeah.
yeah. There were no like gnomes. I don't know. There's probably other things that could come in.
I don't think I saw any male elves anywhere.
No, they were all just.
Not that I remember.
They were all just big-breasted hot elves.
Yeah.
One of them looked just like.
Although,
Doodlet.
did you notice that he had the image of the Record of Lodoss War elf in his mind?
Yeah, that's what I
did.
said. One of them
Yes.
looked like Deedlit.
Yeah, Deedlit. Yeah.
Deedlit is so classic. I love it. All right.
Were there any minotaurs? There are no minotaurs or centaurs or
not
anything.
yet.
There are a lot of races they could get.
They could have
Yeah,
had
plenty.
the what are the little pig things with the pig feet, and then they play harps. They're in Fantasia. They dance around. I can't remember their names.
No idea. Friend.
No, I don't know pigs, but I know there are fawns.
Maybe the fawns. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
They're kind of like goat.
Yeah, what are they
People?
called?
I think they're called fawns.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we're really not that far behind on mailbags. So I
Okay.
mean, we're about a standard amount of time behind. So we'll just skip them for now because we're going pretty long.
Yeah.
But as always, guys, thank you for listening to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed our coverage of the slime anime and got some good recommendations in our main topic. And of course, don't forget to go watch a Loop on the Third something or other because we all owe it to Monkey Punch. So
Yeah,
his
for
his,
sure.
it's his legacy.
Rob
And
said
you guys-
satyrs.
Yeah.
Satyrs. That's right. Thank you.
Satyrs, that's what it is. And
That's
if you guys
what
want to discuss with us again for more recommendations and stuff, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Enzobadia, ENZOBADIA.
Give me an
Yeah,
E.
I said it
Yeah.
earlier, but AAA_Mandy with an I.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm at Pope Mitsugi. Okay, we're gonna do an after party, and we're probably just gonna talk about Game of Thrones again. I just know we will. But we'll see you in a few minutes. And until next time, until next week, thanks for listening. I love you all. Come join the Discord. And impressions next week.
Oh man, already? Wow.
Whoa!
Peace out.